Yo, what's going on? Chavo Guerrero Jr. here, giving a big shout out to Wrestling Rehab. Keep watching, keep listening, and Viva la Raza.
Órale. Órale, Cholo Trucker Wrestling Rehab. Shouts to all the junkies out there. And Mommy is back. Oh, yeah, she is back. Now, if you guys have been liking this story with Dirty Dom and Liv Morgan, I mean, it's only been relevant just because we've been wanting for Mommy to come back. I've been invested in the story. I have. It's been one of my favorite stories. Um, it's kind of strange that at first nobody wanted Liv Morgan around. Nobody did. And it's kind of seemed that pretty much all of the Judgment Day, with the exception of Damian Priest and maybe even Dirty Dom, don't want her around. But, somebody like Finn Balor, who was really against having her around, they all seem like they've kind of warmed up to her. Now, it's a little odd having Carlito part of the Judgment Day. I'm not really sure how he fits in. It's kind of almost like, you know what, Carlito, we got nothing for you, Mr. Carlito Canadian Cool, Mr. Carlito Caribbean Cool, Mr. Carlito Cabana. The reason why I said Carlito Canadian Cool is because one time, he was teaming up with Chris Jericho, and they they called him Carlito Canadian Cool. But it seems like they got nothing for him, so I said, just hang out with the Judgment Day. But I'm not really sure how he fits in with those guys, man. But nonetheless, it seems like Liv Morgan has kind of warmed up to everybody in the Judgment Day, with the exception of Damian Priest. Now, Damian Priest, he seems like he's going face. If there's anybody from the Judgment Day, because the Judgment Day is a heel faction, but if there's anybody from the Judgment Day who's going to turn face, um, it would be Damian Priest and Mommy. So I'm wondering what's it gonna be like. So when Mommy came out, Liv Morgan, she hightailed it out of there. She wants nothing to do with it, which was good. Mommy gets in the ring and just kind of looks at Dominik with anger and disgust and leaves the ring. Now, as a fan, I wanted more. To me, that wasn't enough. As a business move, I thought that was pretty good. It wasn't going the way I thought it was going to go. I thought at some point Dominik was actually going to be cool with, hooking up with Liv Morgan, having Liv Morgan by his side. He never really did that. However, my prediction is that eventually at some point, you're going to have Liv Morgan versus Mommy, maybe at SummerSlam, and that's when we're going to see Dirty Dom become Dirtier Dom and actually backstab Mommy and help Liv Morgan win. And you're going to see that Liv Morgan and Dominik were always in cahoots with one another. I'm reminded years ago when Stephanie was playing the role that she hated Triple H. She hated Triple H, and Vince McMahon. Everybody was fighting for Stephanie because evil Triple H was over there. He got them both married in this drive-through marriage, and when Triple H beat everybody down, and especially Vince McMahon, Stephanie turns around, looks at Triple H, smiles, runs, and jumps into his arms. So it was all a setup. I see something similar happening here with this story. Yeah, so Dominik has kind of been pushing her away. He hasn't really warmed up to her too much. A little bit here and there. Yeah, go ahead, stretch out my leg. But even then, he hasn't really been too into her. So that leads me to believe that that's what's going to happen. He's going to screw over Rhea Ripley when the time matters, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to see that Liv and Dirty Dom were together all along behind everybody's back, and she will be part of the Judgment Day, and Damian Priest and Mommy are going to break off and do their own thing, which they can. They can, like I said, they are probably the two most powerful of the Judgment Day. I would say maybe Dominik is as popular. I just don't think Dominik by himself right now can do too much. But we'll see what happens. What's your guys' thoughts? Like I said, as a fan, it wasn't enough for me. I wanted more, but as a business move, I think it was a smart move just to have not to do too much because now it leaves the fans, wanting to tune in, see what happens next, right? Now we're all over the story. What's gonna happen? What's your guys' thoughts on Mommy coming back? And is there something to the story, man? What's gonna happen between Mommy and Dominik? Because as it stands right now, Dominik didn't do anything wrong. Dirty Dom did not really do anything wrong. He was pushing Liv Morgan away. So he never really gave in to Liv Morgan as it stands right now. But I'm betting that we're gonna see the full story come full circle, and that yeah, they were really in cahoots all along. But as it stands right now, she may be mad, but he really hasn't really done much. It's been her. What's your guys' thoughts? Cholo Trucker Wrestling Rehab. Catch you guys on next one.